to get started. Cleveland up 2-0 on Toronto, and Nuggets Timberwolves tied at 1. They head to Minnesota for a pivotal Game 3. Welcome on in. I'm Taylor Rooks with Dirk Nowitzki, Steve Nash, Blake Griffin, and Udonis Haslem. UD down there, who I'm sure is eager to see what his Dolphins do tonight in the NFL draft with the 11th overall pick.
11th pick, yes. We're rebuilding, but it's okay.
Good luck, Dolphins.
We'll be checking in on that, but we have a fun NBA night tonight that starts with one of the most eventful series of this playoffs. Now, in Game 1 at the Garden on Saturday, Jalen Brunson led the way with 28 points. And Karl-Anthony Towns added 25 as the Knicks beat the Hawks by 11. Game 2 saw CJ McCollum take over, pouring a game-high 32, and the Hawks defense helped erase a 12-point deficit at the start of the fourth. But McCollum, he missed 2 free throws with the Hawks up by 1. The Knicks had no timeouts. Mikal Bridges missed the last-second attempt, and the Garden crowd was stunned in a 1-point loss. I'm sorry, Jimmy. Here's what Brunson and McCollum said after.
Jimmy, walk that off. Walk it off.
Stagnant. Obviously, I can control what I can control. And so poor decision-making on my part. And a couple possessions, they played great defense, knocked the ball out of my hands. We got to play better with the lead. That's twice in the fourth quarter now that we've done that.
It was like you were maybe intentionally, maybe not looking to get that matchup against Jalen. I know you said it's not about beating him, but did you like what you had in those one-on-one scenarios when you were getting to the room?
What you think?
Was that what you said?
What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Wow. Tie undone, unbuttoned, just got off work.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, CJ McCollum, he also said he's no villain. He's just a nice guy with 2 kids and wife.
2 kids.
But
Stop
he was
CJ.
incredible in Game 2. What impressed you most about that comeback win for Atlanta?
Yeah, it was CJ. He's been incredible. Not only in Game 2, he had 32, but he was also balling in Game 1. Entirely really carrying the offensive load with Jalen Johnson having slow first halves both games. Nikhil only shooting 31% from the floor in both games and only averaging 13 points. So he's been their offense for long stretches, especially in first halves, keeping them in games. So he's been terrific. His float game is amazing. His pull-up game has been there. So I'm happy for him. Good dude. And remember, they made this Trae Young move, and he was basically a shedded deal. He's coming off this summer, so he was basically a free agent this summer, so I don't think Atlanta thought he would have that much of an impact, especially now in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, we all know that these playoff series, they are all about adjustments. We saw a lot of those in Game 2. Which adjustment had the biggest impact, Steve?
I thought Quinn Snyder had a big win by flipping the Dyson Daniels and Kuminga minutes. So Dyson Daniels plays mid-30s in the first game. The offense looks clunky. I think those minutes with him, Jalen Johnson, and Kuminga together were extremely clunky. By being able to play Kuminga on Cat and having some success defensively allowed him to have a little better offensive efficiency and then take Cat out of the game with Kuminga's athleticism and intensity. So I thought that was a really great adjustment by Quinn Snyder. Can it continue night to night? The matchups, the games are different, but that was a win for Quinn Snyder and the Hawks.
Yeah, I thought Kuminga was fantastic. I mean, he was plus 10, but 19 points, super efficient. You saw the big block there. He had a couple of steals. He just sort of changed the game. It's a really good look at in the playoffs, these small decisions can make such a big impact. Conversely, for the Knicks, I thought they were sort of hunting Okongwu, or they were hunting that Hart pick and roll with Brunson a little bit too much, right? A lot has been said about the Atlanta Hawks hunting Brunson. Why not hunt McCollum? You know, he's been hot. He's had the ball in his hands for a lot of these plays down the stretch in the fourth quarter. CJ's just standing there in the corner, right? Like that's when that's your go-to guy, that's a chance to rest. You know, you still got to be active, still got to be aware. But, you know, I thought maybe that was just something that they could have changed in-game to sort of give them a different look, put CJ in the action, make him a little bit more tired, because obviously the Hart Brunson pick and roll didn't work great for them down the stretch.
Yeah, and I think the Hawks did a great job of playing to their strengths. Obviously, we give the muscle game to the Knicks, but the Hawks won the effort area game. We talk about 20 points on the fast break and 28 points off turnovers. That's 48 of their 107 points that they got without even have to go down and face your half-court defense. So if you can cut that down, if the Knicks, you just cut that in half. You win that game by double figures.
Yeah, I mean, and the Hawks really picked up their defense to close the regular season. They owned the second-best defensive rating after the All-Star break. But you know who else picked things up? CJ McCollum. He's been a star in this series, shooting 55% from the floor through the first 2 games. And earlier, our Cassidy Hubbard caught up with him.
CJ, you've been such a steadying presence for this group, especially late in game 2 when the pressure was at its highest. What does your extensive playoff career do for you in those moments and help you recognize that maybe some of
a lot of experience playing in meaningful games, hostile environments, and I think you just get comfortable in those moments. Make or miss, you can live with the results, you can live with the failure and success equally, and I've worked so hard to be prepared for those moments, and I think for the team, we'll continue to get settled in. We're young and we're growing and developing, and I think we're learning in the middle of a series how competitive it can be and how no game is really over.
Well, speaking of, you made it clear that you don't feel like you're any part of a villain, but as a competitor, do you enjoy at all being a part of the noise or center of attention?
It is what it is. When you're performing at a high level, I think you're going to get attention, but I think for us it's about keeping the main thing the main thing. The main goal is to win games, continue to take advantage of the fact that we're in the playoffs in a competitive series against a good team, and we all do our part and we continue to be ourselves. I like our chances, and for me it's just about being who I've always been.
And there's a belief amongst this team that you guys haven't played your best in this series yet. What does that have to look like tonight to go up 2-1?
We got to play fast, play free, obviously defend at a high level, rebound, and get out and run.
Thanks for your time. Good luck, CJ.
Thank you.
Back to you, Taylor.
CJ's loving it. Time now for the drive to tip bombers hit by CarMax. You got Jalen Johnson made his biggest impact. Excuse you, Dirk. The All-Stars put up 13 points in the second half of each of the first 2 games. Dirk agrees. We also had OG Anunoby and the Knicks are trying to win on the road to take a 2-1 series lead. The Knicks and the Hawks lead off a playoff tripleheader tonight on Prime.
Allergy season? Hold on. NBA on Prime pregame is brought to you by CarMax. Wanna drive? And by Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
We have got a rivalry.
Actually, for his podcast.
Podcast.
I don't know what that means.
You know, the players like to get on the podcast mics, talk a little. Adelman's referring to that there. Now, worth mentioning there, as we just saw Aaron Gordon, he is unfortunately out for tonight's game. But Jaden McDaniels talking spicy, said it's a whole team of bad defenders. Where do we stand on this? Is it a good idea to give the opponent bulletin board material in the playoffs?
I mean, I don't love it. If I was on his team, it's just adding pressure and adding fuel to the fire if you want. But I'm on TV now, and I love it. I love it. Just early in the series already brings that fire. They got a great rivalry. I was looking this up. The last few years, they played 30 times in the last couple of years with playoffs and regular season. They're 15-15. So this is amazing. They have this rivalry, and can't wait where it's going to build. But if I was on his team, it's a bit too strong for me. But hey, if he can stand on it, and now he's got to play well. He also put a lot of pressure on himself.
Listen, if they played each other that many times, then he probably know him better than anybody. That's all I'm saying. I mean, right now they're leading the league. They're leading the playoffs in points in the paint right now. 36 points in the paint off drives, and they average 53 points in the paint just total overall. So they're getting downhill in the paint. There's something to be said. They're finding something. They have found some kind of recipe to attack these guys. I like when they went to the small lineup. They had Randall at the 5. They had Nas at the 4. They were able to spread these guys out and attack these guys from all angles. So I'm not saying everybody is a bad defender, but there are a lot of bad defenders on that team right here. This is just a regular pick and roll action. Aaron Gordon should be pulling over. You understand Joker's not great in the pick and roll. Aaron Gordon should be pulling over right here. You leave Joker all by himself. It's an easy layup right there. I ain't saying they all bad defenders, but that's an easy layup when against a team that's supposed to be a championship team.
But you ain't saying they are.
I ain't saying they are. Once again, we put Joker in this pick and roll. We just get downhill. So as a unit, as a team, they need Aaron Gordon in that lineup because he's not been 100%. So I think to your point, Steve, there's been some cracks in that defense. But I'm not going to go against what McDaniels is saying right now. They have found something. The Minnesota Timberwolves have found something right there, and they're exploiting it.
I wasn't saying he wasn't lying.
Okay.
I'm not sure I would have said it.
I mean, McDaniels said it all. And I think the problem is if you can't find a way to slow him down, it puts so much pressure on that two-man game. And I feel like they got a little one-dimensional, a little stagnant. I think Rudy's done a great job, but I think you got to move Joker around. Get him in the post. Get him at the high elbow, 5 out. You know, they do so much 5-out stuff that I think it got one-dimensional with their two-man game. They're not getting stops. this Minnesota team may be able to slow them down, and that's also with Peyton Watson out of the lineup and Aaron Gordon out of the lineup. So this is a tall task if they can't find a way to slow Minnesota down defensively.
Yeah, I will say I'm with Eric a little bit, just because, I mean, we've all had some games where you go watch film and you're like, I was in the wrong spot, or I got to be there a second early. It doesn't mean you're necessarily a bad defender. It means you have to do a better job of being aware and getting to those spots. And what I think Jaden McDaniels just did is he's now told them that, and now they're going to be a little bit more conscious of it. So you shouldn't need that to up your defense and be in the right spot, but to me it is, it's one of those things where I'll just be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to just let that ride, and we're going to just keep exploiting it until they figure that out.
I mean, BG, to that point, the Nuggets did say all the right things publicly. Said they didn't care, they weren't listening.
I guarantee you they're not saying the same thing.
Inside of the locker room, what's that conversation like after you hear that from Jaden McDaniels?
You know, nobody has to tell you when you're getting lined up and smoked. You know it. You feel it. Everybody's watching it. So nobody has to tell you. You can say what you want to say to the media. You know when they're lining you up, and you know when they're targeting you, and you know when they're attacking you. Right now this year, Jamal Murray was 21st in the league in blow-bys. 21st in the league in blow-bys. You cannot tell me that if you're on the Minnesota Timberwolves, you're not saying, find him. You're not saying find him. So they understand that. And to Steve's point, you have to be great offensively because your defense is not going to be able to sustain those blow-bys for 48 minutes.
But I think where this can help them on the bulletin board is standing up for each other. You know, we know Jamal's going to be on an island. He's got so much responsibility offensively. So when you see him ISO'd and you've heard Jaden McDaniels talking, I'm going to step up in the gaps more. I'm going to be on the balls of my feet. I'm going to be ready. I'm not going to give possessions away where I'm hugged up on my man or I'm late. So I think this could lift their defense. Let's see how good they can be.
Or it could tear your defense down if somebody tell you what they're going to do to you and then turn around and do it. It could lift you, or it could tell you, it could demoralize you too. We're telling you the game plan, and we're going to do it to you.
Yeah, this is such a good rivalry. Incredible. We've got them matched up in the first round. That game 3 tipping off later tonight. Like we said, Nuggets and Timberwolves. That's the third game 3 that we are going to see. Cavs and Raptors will get us started before that. And of course, the Knicks and the Hawks lead things off. Don't forget, Prime has you covered to watch more than one game at the same time using our multi-view feature available on most devices. To access, click down on your remote, select multi-view to watch Knicks-Hawks and Cavs-Raptors side by side. Same game parlay presented by FanDuel. CJ McCollum, he scored 32 in the win over the Knicks in game 2. Steve, how many do you expect tonight?
23. 3 points.
All right.
What do you think?
Straight to it.
Straight to the point. Yeah.
Anyone agree? No?
Dirk, how many points for Jalen Brunson?
I think he's going to go for 30 today. He really, besides the first quarter in game 1, hasn't played amazing, missed some of his shots. I think this is a road game. This is a must-win for them. They're going to approach it like that. He's going to get the ball up, and he's going to put the ball in the hole.
Okay, UD, Jalen Johnson may be primed for a big game. Scored 17 in game 2. How many points for him?
17 in game 2, but they won game 2. Game 1, he scored 20-plus, and they lost. So I'm going to stay around 18. I think the boys from Peachtree get it done today.
Okay, the boys from Peachtree. Last one, BG. Cat, how many points?
Thundercat.
Not a great fourth quarter last game, but he's so important to this team. They have to find a way to get this going. So give me 20, Steve.
Thundercat.
Okay.
Intentional cat.
Come on.
All right, there you got it. Start tonight off right with FanDuel Happy Hour, because from 5 to 10 p.m. Eastern, FanDuel is serving 10, that's right, 10 30% profit boost to use on live bets. So just head to the FanDuel Sportsbook app right now to score better payouts during the NBA playoffs. All right, now, a big talking point, obviously, throughout this series. We have seen Mike Brown sit Cat and Jalen Brunson at the same time. The Knicks were outscored by 7 points in 11 minutes with both of them off of the court last game. What do you all make of this decision?
Well, I would start by saying it sounds crazy.
Yeah.
You'd think you try to feature Cat in the non-Brunson minutes, but I can assure you Mike Brown and his staff have talked about this for hours.
You think?
They've looked at the numbers. They've looked at the analytics. They're trying to figure out what is the best use of that second unit and to mismatch their minutes. We'll see. Maybe they change tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. It was definitely something to think about. I do love Mitchell Robinson when he's in there, right? So, Steve, I think you're right. I think they've looked at all these different scenarios. They're looking at what lineups do really well. They've looked at the Hawks series, the games they played already. But I do think to get Cat going, maybe earlier, maybe in the first half, you do not sit both of them. You get Cat going in the minutes that Brunson's off the court. So I don't know.
Yeah, and we talk about running pick and roll and hunting guys out all the time with Brunson, but sometimes it's just as easy as just letting Cat anchor in and throw it in the post because he's going to have a mismatch. If you're going to guard him with a smaller guy, sometimes you just anchor in, throw it in, and we're going to let you go to work. So sometimes just simplify it and just attack those smaller matchups.
Yeah, that was the change. I mean, Okongwu was on Hart, right?
Yeah.
And Cat had a wing on him, which that's sort of been the thing that they haven't been able to exploit. So they need to do that tonight.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting closer to tip-off in the first of 3 Game 3s tonight on Prime. Knicks against the Hawks. Let's send it on out.
If that back line isn't up, what are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the first things you learn as a big, and any young big, this is so important. Your voice is such a tool on defense. So Mikal Bridges right here is somewhat blind, right? He knows he has to sort of corral this. They're trying to get the ball out of CJ's hands. But if I don't hear my guys back there, 1, I don't know where they are, and 2, I don't know if they're ready to be in this defense. So hearing the defense behind gives me more confidence to be able to come and corral this, because let's remember, the reason for this is to get the ball out of CJ's hands, which they didn't accomplish. And UD, now you're just playing regular defense.
Yes, as I'm here on that back line, I want to give you the confidence to be able to go. So I should already be taking my 2-9 right here because the ball's on the weak side. So Nickeil Alexander's actually coming to me, making it easier for me to step up. I need Josh Hart to be on top of Jalen Johnson. If that pass whips to the corner, he can make that rotation. Cat can pull to that block, and he can get back to his man. But I'm up here making you feel comfortable, letting you know I got your back.
And we're not sure they were going to hit here, but it felt like they wanted to. But they've got to do something to make it harder on CJ at the end of games.
If you're not going to hit, then why even be in this? They put themselves at a disadvantage, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, if I'm the Knicks, I would mix it up today. I think, to me, they're giving into this switch a little too easy. Maybe early on they're going to show with Brunson, stay high, whoever is high, or they can pre-switch like Udonis walked through in October, one of our first shows. Try to run somebody else up and get in a switch and keep Brunson on the weak side. So there's numerous of things they can do, and they'll probably try them all tonight.
After that game, Jalen Brunson was asked about being hunted, said, I got to disrupt CJ, make him play on his heels and make him react to me defensively. So we'll see if he makes some of those changes. I don't know if
CJ need to stop it. You ain't no villain, but you damn sure ain't no ally. You ain't no ally. Don't stop it, CJ.
Kids.
We know what you're doing.
He's got 2 kids.
Cut it out. Cut it out, CJ.
No villains ever had kids.
All right, thank y'all so much for watching NBA on Prime pregame presented by CarMax. We